When you first start color grading in DaVinci Resolve, the concept of color grading nodes can be really confusing and it can kind of take away from the creativity of the color grading process. But don't worry, in this video I'm going to simplify what nodes are and how to use them so you can just get on with making beautiful looking videos. Let's head into Resolve and we'll get started. If you don't see your nodes, click this button to open up the nodes display. You can zoom in and out of the nodes by using this slider if you've got more complicated node graphs. And you can move this divider across to make more space for your image. By default, you'll automatically get this first node. This node at the minute is not actually doing anything. All it's doing is taking the input from the video file, and that's what this little green dot represents. You can think of this as the file on disk. It's not quite as simple as that, depending on the workflow you're using, but you can think of this green dot as the unchanged video information. This green dot is connected to this green input arrow for the node. That means that the input signal for this node is coming straight from the video file. This line coming from the green square on this side of the node is joined up to this green dot, and this represents the output of your color grading. Whatever changes you make in the nodes will flow down this line and onto the screen or into your final render. You can drag these lines around by just holding your mouse button on them and moving them around. You can double click on them to delete them, and you can join up these things by clicking on your mouse button, dragging across and connecting it up. And similarly, you can connect this up to the output. So what exactly is a node in DaVinci Resolve color grading? You can think of a node as a place where things happen. I know that's a bit vague. Those things can be any of the things that you can do in color grading in DaVinci Resolve. So in theory, you could do 100 different things in one single node. The reason why we've got nodes is for, number one, more complicated workflows, but number two, so we can mentally form a picture, no pun intended, of how the different things are being affected in the image. So I'll give you a more concrete example of that. Say in this image we wanted to use the offset to brighten up the image. We wanted to change the colors by using the offset. I'm going to go a bit over the top here just so you can see what's happening. And maybe we also wanted to add some contrast. Again, I'm going way over the top here just so you can see the effect. But we've now done all of those changes in this single node. And you can see these icons here are telling us that we've made changes and that this node actually is doing something to the image. The problem is now, if we want to go and undo one of those first changes we made, for example, changes to this offset down here, we'd have to go and use Control Z. And watch what happens when I do that. The first thing it's going to undo are the changes to the colors. So we're having to lose those changes we made, even if we want to keep those color changes. And if we reset everything for this node, we're going to lose everything that we did in it. So that's why having multiple nodes can be really useful. Number one, it allows you to organize the changes you're making to the colors or the exposure. And number two, it allows you to very quickly reset changes for only a certain kind of thing that you're changing. And that's why we have the ability to create multiple nodes in a node graph. Let me show you how to create a new node. I'm just going to make sure we've reset everything by right-clicking and choosing Reset Node Grade. That will remove any changes that are happening to the image from inside that node. I'm going to right-click on this existing node, come down to Add Node, and choose Add Serial. There's quite a few different types of nodes we can choose from here, but don't worry about that for the minute. Click Add Serial. Alternatively, you can use Alt-S as the keyboard shortcut. When I do this, we get this second node pop up, and automatically it's linked the output from node 1 to the input from node 2. So let's say we want to use 3 separate nodes, one for the exposure or the brightness, one for the contrast, and a third node to alter the colors in the image. And each node is only responsible for doing one of those specific things. To help keep track of these nodes, you can right click and choose node label and then type something in. Let's call this exposure, and we'll right click and choose a node label for this node. We'll just call it color. Let's start with this first exposure node. So I'm going to click on it to make it active, and you get a red box around it. That's how you know this node is active. And we're just going to come down to the offset and we'll just brighten the image up. Then I'm going to click on the color node to activate it, and we're going to drag this little dot around to change the colors. Let's go and add a lot of green into it. Because now we've got 2 nodes, we can independently change the exposure and the color. That also means if we want to completely reset what we did for the color, color, we don't have to throw away what we've already done for the exposure. So let's say we weren't happy with how bright it's looking. We can click on the exposure, and to reset everything in this node, if we've got multiple things going on, we could right click and choose reset node grade, but because we've only changed the offset, we can click here to reset all of the primaries. But notice by doing that, we haven't affected what we did in the color node, so we haven't lost that work we've done. If I hit Ctrl Z, it's going to undo the reset of that exposure node and get us back to where we were, but it hasn't undone anything that's happened in the color node. But what happens if we actually want to change the contrast after we've changed the exposure, but before we've changed the color? Well, we can either right click on this first node, and as we did before, choose add node, add serial, and that will give us a node like that. I'll just undo that. But what happens if we wanted an extra node before this first node? If we right click on this dot, we can't add a serial. In that case, right click, choose add node, and choose add serial before. This will add a brand new node before the node we're currently in, and join up the lines. To delete a node that you don't want, select it, either right click and choose delete node, or hit backspace on the keyboard. Let's go and add a node between these two by right clicking and choosing add serial node. We'll right click and choose label, and we'll call this contrast. You don't need to add these labels if you don't want to. And we'll just go and add some simple contrast in the contrast control in the primaries down here. One of the other benefits of using multiple nodes, one for each kind of thing you're doing, is that you can disable and enable individual nodes independently. Let's say we wanted to see what this would look like, but without this exposure change made. You can either single left click on the label, you can see that node goes darker to indicate that it's actually not doing anything anymore, and click on the label again to enable it. You can also use Ctrl D on the keyboard to disable that node, and Ctrl D to enable it. If I select both of these nodes and hit Ctrl D, both of those nodes get disabled, and now we're only looking at what this color node is doing to the image. Ctrl D to re-enable. Having multiple nodes also allows you to tweak nodes earlier in the pipeline or the node graph. We'll click on contrast, and then we'll go and adjust the contrast. But as we're adjusting the contrast, we're also seeing the effect of both the contrast node and this color node that comes after it. So now you understand nodes a bit better, you definitely want to know the two workflows when it comes to color grading in DaVinci Resolve. It's going to save you a lot of headache, and it's potentially going to save you a lot of time, and that's what you'll learn if you watch this video next. I'm Jason Roberts, this is DaVinci Dojo, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.